It's Madden NFL 22, and we've got a showdown in the AFC North. It's the Ravens and the Bengals, and it comes your way next.
With the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And Charles, our ball game here featuring a couple of young quarterbacks a lot of people have their eye on. Lamar Jackson of the Ravens, Joe Burrow of the Bengals.
Yeah, Brandon, we're starting to see some of the old guard moving on. Guys like Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning. And in their place, there have been some dynamic young guys who have come into the league, not just this year, but the last 3 or 4 years in particular. They've really changed the quarterback position. And I think both of these guys fit into that category. Youth is being served.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from Cincinnati. Brandon Wilson now from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know, as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On third down, Burrow. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 18. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
Escaping the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Baby, let's go. Let's go.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Jackson going to run again. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
An option handoff here to Dobbins. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Jackson. Flushed out right.
And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Devin Duvernay. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's Burrow.
Now Burrow loses the football.
You better talk to your boy. You better talk to your boy. He will protect you.
Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Open receiver. That's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. They were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, they certainly got dented with that first down run, so now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
They go play action now. Jackson.
Open man is Duvernay.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
From the 45 on 2nd down. Jackson. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
On 3rd down, Jackson.
He gets this underneath to Dobbins.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Let's go.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front three, your front four, front five, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
Now Jackson. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 31-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Defensively, Sam Hubbard, the former Buckeye, there to stop him.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now it's Jackson.
That's taken in by Duvernay.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 12-yard line.
Here's a give to Dobbins.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
A couple of extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6.
Now it's Jackson.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Ravens have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead.
That's 2 really excellent drives for them to start this ballgame, both ending with touchdown passes.
In big picture, they look great, don't they? Like a well-oiled machine right now. But let's down focus a little bit and talk about the guy calling the signals and throwing the passes. He is playing with precision right now, scanning the field and making excellent throws.
Tucker now for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
You can't block me. You can't block me. 56, the mic, boys. 56. Check 56.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11. Burrow looking to pass. That's complete to the tight end, Broniker. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they're looking at a second down and 9 to go.
I'm one, right?
56. Mike's 56. Quick turnover. 56. Mike, 56 right there.
Now Burrow. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Here we go.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
Check 56.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they go play action now. Burrow.
And he'll spot Higgins open left side.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And Burrow going to throw again. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And they'll get this down to the 10. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum, because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
On one.
A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Here's Higgins out on the right side. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
56. Yeah. Mike 56. Mike 56.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Now it's Burrow. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle.
McPherson's kick is good. So a conservative decision there, but it does put him on the board.
And I know the players hate it, the coaches hate it, but sometimes you just got to take the points when they're there. Sometimes a field goal is pretty darn good.
Here's McPherson now to send it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Ravens ready to take over.
And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21.
He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Coming up on 2nd and 7.
They'll go option to the short side. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
We got this.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
50 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the second round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football out of the backfield? To be able to get him in the second round, that's what I call a steal.
Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Play action. It's Jackson. Dancing to his left. And he'll even avoid the contact in the end as he will finally slide to a halt. A big pickup there on the scramble. Oh, Lamar Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play. He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter whether you're actually on the field trying to chase him or you're just watching him play. This guy is sheer excitement.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run with Dobbins. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Jackson going to run. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
The Ravens on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and goal. Eluding the pressure right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1. And in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit, because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. That time, a 9-play drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Burrow's throw here on target to Hurst. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that
one. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Burrow will throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. To the right side and complete to Hurst. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Here we go. 180. Nice up. 180.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4 and he got 4 on 3rd down.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch run. 56 is the mic. 56 is the mic.
Here's Burrow. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
180. 180.
They'll run on 1st down. Mixon. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. 1st level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Josh Bynes. Leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. And there they bring pressure from the inside and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
The Bengals on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Boyd. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Here we go. 180. Nice up. Check.
They'll drop to throw. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. With the football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books. But it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point.
DC, ready? DC.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jackson will throw again. That's taken in by Duvernay. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. Being chased out left. And he will slide to a halt with a penalty marker down on the play.
Holding offense.
That's on the guard, Kevin Zeitler, first-round pick back in 2012. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing is Jackson. Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. Second and 6. And Jackson throwing once more. A throw taken in by Tylan Wallace. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now Jackson on first down. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again is Jackson. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 16. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 33. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going as they'll take over with just 13 seconds to go before the break. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. It was Chuck Clark coming up to make the tackle. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Ravens. And they've had their way running the football well over 100 yards already as a team, with 2 more quarters still to come. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter, and they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
They'll start with the option.
And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Jackson.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Now he's flushed out right, and he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10
at the 40.
11, empty, touchdown.
They'll try and start this drive in the air, and this will be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete.
Here we go.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Watch the screen.
Burrow looking to pass. Flush to his right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On third down, Mixon. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
Let's go, baby.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Here we go. 180.
Now Joe Mixon. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Here we go. Here we go. 180. 180.
Now it's Burrow. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. 61 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Forced out to his left. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Jackson now.
Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field.
And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively. It's 2nd down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete.
The 30. 10. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Personal foul. This is opening pass that seems defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't
would do
even
for
know
them?
why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
McPherson on for the point after.
He's got it, and it's 24-17. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
On, baby. Let's go! Woo!
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Now a handoff for Dobbins.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
87 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins.
He'll get 3 up to midfield.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on third down. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And incomplete here to bring up fourth down as the rookie couldn't haul it in.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
12, 11.
On 1st down, Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes it's his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick, the intended target. And now it's 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Escaping the pressure right. And Burrow going to slide to the ground as he does pick up the first down. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
So this was a case of better safe than sorry. All the receivers were locked up, so he had to try and run for it, but he ended up having to slide short of the marker.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. 35 yards that time on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Well, listen, when you've got the lead, There's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
And partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A 40-yard punt, no return. Cincinnati set to take over once again. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Get him, boys! Get him, boys!
Here we go. 180. Legs hot. Hot.
From the 29, Burrow. Mixon with a 1st down and more as they finally wrangle him in at the 48.
We got this.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a 1st down.
180. Legs hot.
Mark 56. Mark 56.
Hot.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Let's do this.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 67 yards on the ground for him so far.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
180.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on 1st down.
Ready?
Man left, man left.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Here's a give to Mixon. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. Now the Bengals on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Burrow. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Boyd. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. T. Higgins there to make the grab. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
And McPherson on for the extra point. And an important one that is, as we are tied now early in this 4th quarter. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Come on, guys, let's go!
The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. The drive will start with an option going left. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over-pursuing, and making a very nice play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. He gets this underneath to Dobbins, and they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The Ravens on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
Let's go, fellas.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Jackson going to take this himself.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Here we come! Here we come!
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 right at the 40. And now Jackson will look to throw it.
Open man is Duvernay.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
Let's go, boys. It's all good, baby. It's all good.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run. Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. An option handoff here to Dobbins.
He takes it to the 15. A flashy move, but little to show for it. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. Got to kick it, right? I mean, even the short yardage, you boot this thing, don't you?
Yeah, but I know how aggressive you are. I know what you want. You want to go for it, don't you? You're feeling it, aren't you?
Yeah, but treat it like a football game, not like Madden.
I like that. Fight the temptation, kick the field goal, because if you go for it and don't get it, you put a lot on your defense in a short amount of time.
Tucker's kick is good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play there for Cincinnati.
If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, you know, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there.
And what was amazing to me was the fact he was able to get as much on the ball as he did because he was on the run. Normally, when you're on the move like that, you don't expect the ball to go that far. You would think you need your lower body to be involved. That was an all-arm throw.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Big stop, big stop, let's go.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Now Burrow. Now he steps away, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And that is a situation where in a defender's mind, you just have to pick a point on the football field and think to yourself, I'm going to sprint full out and meet him at that point. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't, but he had to play diagnose perfectly there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
Mixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals.
Joe Mixon
taking it in from a yard out. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front.
So they brought the extra break in down to the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
McPherson now for the extra point.
And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon.
after the touchdown. McPherson on to kick this one away. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson flushed out right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. Again, Jackson will keep it. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. Here's a give to Dobbins. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bengals getting set to go. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Back to throw here. Now Burrow loses the football. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on him.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now it's Burrow. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Here we go. Big 13. Big 13. 11.
Once again, they run with Mixon, and he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And this pass broken up. The contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down 31-27, 53 ticks to go. Needing to go pretty much the length of the football field as they have it 1st and 10. Jackson to throw. Eluding the pressure right. 1st down and more for Jackson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Jackson connecting with Andrews. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
1st down now, but that clock rolling. Throwing, Jackson. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.